than a dozen candidates. A runoff will be held if no one gets more than 50% of the vote. The House seat is heavily favored toward Republicans, obviously, and is crucial to the GOP's razor-thin majority in the House. But with so many Republicans on the ballot, a Democratic upset is not out of the question completely. Our next guest, Greg Bluestein of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, wrote last month, interviews with more than a dozen Republicans across the district show a party on edge, worried that Georgia's fast-moving contest, voter fatigue, lingering unease over Trump, and most of all, a fractured GOP field and a strong Democratic contender could put even this seat at risk. Greg Bluestein joins us now. He is senior political reporter for the AJC and an MS Now political contributor. Greg, that was a month ago. Republicans were scared. I assume now they're more scared, maybe terrified. How real is that fear? And more importantly, what does it tell us about how the rest of the midterms, what that environment might be like in Georgia?
Yeah, it's still a fear for Republicans. And when you go to 14th District, which is up in Northwest Georgia, very conservative, as you said, you hear it from activists saying Republicans have to mobilize or they could actually lose the seat. The fear, though, has gone down a little bit because President Trump has endorsed in that race. So it's no longer as fractured on the Republican side as it was maybe a month or two ago. He has endorsed Clay Fuller. He's a former prosecutor in that race. But it's still... These special elections in Georgia are very, very messy. As we know from back in 2020, there are no party primaries in this type of race. So there are about 20 candidates from all parties, all on the same ballot. They're all duking it out for what is expected to be a runoff in just a few more weeks. So a lot can happen. And the Democrat, Sean Harris, is expected to actually be the leading vote getter in this entire tally.
Greg, obviously, Marjorie Taylor Greene has become one of the loudest voices calling attention to the MAGA fracture and trying to hold Trump accountable for betraying a lot of his campaign promises. But in your conversations with voters, are they listening to Marjorie Taylor Greene the way that the media is paying attention to her every statement and sort of maximizing this fracture going on right now?
Yeah, that's such a good question because some voters, they're loyal to her. They feel like she's the future of politics in Georgia and beyond. And others feel betrayed. They were stunned by her sudden decision last year to step down in January, and they're angry. They feel like she betrayed Donald Trump. And so there's a deep strain of Trump loyalty, but there's also a desire for more of a maverick from some of the voters there. And that's what's going to really define this special election. It's an early test of Donald Trump's influence in Georgia because, of course, he backed Clay Fuller, and there's no guarantee that his preferred candidate is going to win. These are very unpredictable races, but it's also a sort of an identity test for Republicans up in Northwest Georgia. Do they want another maverick? Do Republicans in Georgia want another Marjorie Taylor Greene, or do they want someone more conventional?
Greg, speaking of this unpredictable race, is it even possible that the Democrat in this race, Sean Harris, could maybe eke this out? And I want to read something from USA Today with the headline, "Lone Democrat in Georgia election wears bulletproof vest. He's still running." Sean Harris, a retired brigadier general and cattle rancher in Northwest Georgia, ran against Greene in 24, taking home more than 30% of the vote. His race was one of the most successful by a Democrat in recent memory. Does he have I know this is a red district, a ruby red district, but given the political climate and what we've seen over the last year, does he actually have a shot?
Yeah, this is why Republicans are scared, because he ran in 2024. He got the most votes of any Democrat in the history of the 14th District, and then he never really stopped running. So he's already had, long before Marjorie Taylor Greene announced she was going to step down, he had his campaign apparatus still going. He has his signs everywhere. He has a big office in the sort of the center of the district in Rome, Georgia. So he's still out there campaigning. He's a retired U.S. Army officer who's also, refused in treaties to switch sides and switch to the GOP. So he has a sort of, he has his own conservative streak that could appeal to swing voters. And he's saying basically to voters, give me a chance. If you don't like what I've got over the next few months, turn me out of office, but give me a chance. Let me show you what I can do if I'm elected.
Greg, I want to zoom past this race a little bit in Georgia, but Jon Ossoff, the senator who's running for